We just want to be unique in this market, especially in Asia. The potential of this electronic industry is unlimited, and every country is committed to break through the barrier of technology to create some more possibilities.
Today I'm speaking with Ying Qian from WinSource Electronics, one of Asia's largest electronic component suppliers. I got to spend some time with Ying at Munich Electronica last year and had a chance to learn all about this massive online superstore and how it works. So I sat down again with Ying, this time from across the globe, to talk more about how WinSource's presence at Electronica helped build confidence with new customers, help them differentiate themselves from other Chinese suppliers, and how they help bridge the gap when worldwide shortages threaten to shut production down. We also talk about how Ying came to work for WinSource and how she maintains a healthy work-life balance. We live in a time where design and technology touch every aspect of our lives. But where did it all come from? Who designed it? How was it built and brought to market? What will it look like in a year, 2 years, 100 years? From the phones and smartwatches that help us in our day-to-day to the cutting-edge spaceships and 3D printers that are leading us into the future, modern design is constantly shaping the way we work, communicate, problem solve, and play. And every new design, big or small, starts with an idea and a bill of materials. I'm Magenta Strongheart, and this is The Bomb, where we talk to leading innovators in the tech world and celebrate the transformational power of design. Welcome to The Bomb, Ying. We're so excited to have you representing WinSource today. How are you doing?
Yeah, pretty good. Thank you.
Yeah, we were just talking about we're all back from holiday, right? It sounds like you had an exciting winter break.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you were saying you stayed you went to Austria after Munich Electronica, right?
Yeah, that's right. I took a vacation for about more than a month. It's a pretty long vacation, though.
Nice. Everyone should have that if they can. It's important for refreshing for the new year, right?
That's right. That's right.
And so we got to meet at Electronica. WinSource had a booth there. Could you tell us a little more about WinSource and why you all felt it was important to have a presence at Electronica in Munich last year?
Yeah, WinSource is the largest electronic components online store in Asia. We provide not only common use electronic components, but also some hard to find and obsolete components. That's the show in Munich last year was great. After the show, we have all kinds of orders coming in. Is much better than we ever expected. Through the show, we built some direct communications with our customers, and we also built some confidence through our customers, and to see we are very serious about doing our business, and everything's worked out great.
Yeah, I remember when we were chatting at the fair, you and your colleagues mentioned that you actually had a few customers come up and say, "Oh, I had seen you online, but we weren't sure if you were legitimate or if it was, a fake company or something." And so it was really important for them to be able to meet you in person and see that you were, in fact, a real company, and that you all were dedicated. And like you said, it built some confidence with the relationships, right?
Yeah. After the show, about already a month ago, we sent our certificates and tests to our new customers. So they already confirmed their orders, which is a very great thing to see after the show.
Yeah, and I remember at your booth, something that you all were really showcasing was the certification program that you have that kind of differentiates you from some of your competitors, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Can you tell us more about what the certificates mean and why you guys decided to implement that initiative?
WinSource has been following the highest and the most comprehensive quality systems, such as AS9120, ISO 13485, and some other standards to standardize our process, such as ISO 9001. And we also been further improving our stability of our supply chain, such as ISO 22301 and ISO 2800 and so on.
So it's great that you guys have found this way to help differentiate against other Chinese distributors. What are other ways that you all have been able to kind of differentiate your brand? Because I know that's important with, like you said, a lot of illegitimate kind of companies that you have to kind of rise above in the industry.
We have been developed the most some internal supply chain operating system, such as including sales, procurement, warehousing, logistic, and marketing, and some other subsystem to support our global chain strip. That we can make some continuous optimization and to reduce sourcing and production costs. And also we have established a very strict supplier approval process, from packaging inspection and ship labeling inspection to product visual inspection and some non-destructive testing. And we also comply with some process, environmental, and humidity controls. And those kind of methods, make us pretty different from other suppliers in China.
Definitely. And how do you build that supplier network? Do suppliers usually come to you first, or you go to suppliers and find suppliers that you're interested in working with, or a little bit of both?
Yeah, a little bit both, because our company is near Shenzhen, and Shenzhen is the biggest component, the biggest district for making those electronic components. Yeah, we just go to the factory directly, and we also rebuy from our customers from some components that they don't use it anymore.
That makes sense. That sounds like a way to kind of maximize and make the whole chain more efficient, right?
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the history of WinSource, how long the company has been around, and kind of your when you started working there?
Yeah, our company was established at 1999. It's already been 14 years, and I've been joining this company for 2 years already. Yeah, it was just the beginning of the outbreak, the pandemic, and everything is pretty chaotic in China. And also there's shortage in the market of this electronic components. And after I joined the company, I see how they grow faster in this whole market because of the shortage. And every day when I working at WinSource, I feel this self-achievement, being a part of this company. Yeah, that makes me feel pretty good.
Yeah, I would love to learn a little bit more about your background and, education and experience that brought you to WinSource a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I studied computer science, and it's a little bit like hardware oriented, and I'm interested in this kind of development in laboratory and so on. And as a student, when I was a student, I also face those problems. When I want to develop in something, I need to find this hardwares. And so how do I find those hardware in a cheap way, in a more cheap and has a high quality way? So I checked the internet, and also going through some recommendations. So I found WinSource. I also me as a student, and also some other students from friends from me, we bought some products from WinSource. And after that, we have some connections with other students from other universities. We try to sell them through the platform in WinSource to other students, and that worked out pretty good. And after graduation, and then because in that point, I was pretty familiar with some managers in WinSource, and we also have a very good relationship. After the graduation, I just went to WinSource directly to start working for them, and it's pretty good for me because that's where my interest in, and WinSource. I knew WinSource for many years, so we kind of like pretty familiar with each other. Yeah, that was a pretty good start.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That's also similar to my kind of experience with Design Lab. I started as an intern before I graduated, and then was luckily invited back for a full-time position. But it does really mean a lot when you are familiar with the space and,
Yes.
the company culture and all of that. It's a lot more promising that you're going to have, a good experience going back and that sort of thing, of course. And I remember actually at Electronica, we were talking about some of the personal projects you're working on. You do play around with some programming and stuff outside of your work at WinSource. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the programs? I think you were telling us about some games you were developing with friends and that kind of thing.
Yeah, we developed some games using goggles, like for and also using some artificial intelligence methods to improve the experience when people using the goggles. They always have those dizzy feeling, and some people even feel like vomiting after playing some visual games. We just try use some small techniques to improve that user experience. And those are just very small hobby, just some hobby thing. It's not like major project or so.
Yeah, I think it's great though to be able to push your creativity outside of work. It's a good balance to all the other stuff we work on, right?
Yeah.
And some of the other things you were telling me that, help with your work-life balance. We were discussing just earlier your snowboarding that you've gotten into. You were doing a snowboarding camp in Austria, which sounds amazing.
It is.
And I loved that you were so open to, you said, kind of traveling and exploring on your own because you're able to meet new people. Do you have any fun stories from your recent trip you'd like to share?
I've been doing snowboarding since 5 years already. And at the very beginning, I just go through some small mountains with friends. And after all those years, I feel like my techniques have improved a lot. So I signed up for this snowboard camp in Austria since I recently was in Germany. And it was a very good opportunity to have this chance to get to know different people and also improve my techniques. So I went to the camp, and after camp, I got this. It's also a lesson, but it's more like a certification. So I got to officially become a snowboard instructor.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, although it's the first level, like the very basic level. After certification, I can only teach kids, not able to teach adults, but still, it's very good experience. And
kids are more fun to teach anyways.
Yeah, that's right. And this is also a part that I like. I love WinSource this much because this position gives me like freedom and space to have my own stuff going on, and not only to be one spot in China or in Singapore city to sit in the office or so. And I'm able to travel all over the world to develop my hobbies and just experience my life.
Yeah, that's so important. I think that that's a huge thing that's kind of come out of after the pandemic, that companies and employees are realizing that we can have a little more flexibility with our schedule and that kind of thing, and still meet the goals of the industry and the company and whatnot. So really happy that you're able to enjoy that. Definitely.
Thank you.
Is there an international distributor that WinSource is emulating at all or interested in modeling their own techniques or strategies after?
I don't think there's a model that WinSource want to intimate because every country is different, have their own environment, own their different markets. We just want to be unique in this market, especially in Asia, and the potential of this electronic industry is unlimited, and every country is committed to break through the barrier of technology to create some more possibilities. And we OneSource, we want to lead the innovation and build a very high quality reputation among those Chinese distributors. And so after that, we'll still focus on our corporate values, and we try to take full control of our quality system and deepen the integration of our global price channels, and continue adapting to the international distribution landscape.
Of course. And one other question about your experience at Munich. Did you notice like specific regions that you were meeting more customers from, or was it really global and kind of spread out all around? Or were there specific, markets that you were able to see more new customers from, or people visiting your booth or anything like that?
Like I mentioned at the booth, there are some customers from South America that we never had before, because we didn't have so many customers from South America. And after this booth from Munich, after the show from Munich, we got to know some other customers in South America and to build some good connections. But I think most of the customers are from Europe and North America. I think I'll say 17% of our customers from Europe.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then I know that it sounds like Shanghai Electronica will be happening in April. Yeah. Are you guys going to be participating in that fair?
Me personally, I'm not going to participate in the Electronica in Shanghai, but some other colleagues from me, they'll definitely go.
Will you guys have a booth, or more just go for walking around the floor and connecting with others?
We also gonna have a booth.
Okay, great. Nice.
Are you gonna also go to the Electronica in Shanghai?
Maybe. We're still deciding. Supply Frame, the Supply Frame China team will definitely be there and have a booth. And I may go for a couple of events, but we're not totally sure yet. Still waiting to see also all the regulations around the quarantine and stuff, because it seems like that's changing constantly.
Right.
Yeah. Are there any other events that are coming up on the calendar this year that you're looking forward to?
Public events, I don't think there's many, but there's some small events just in a very small group in the industry. Yeah, there's some in Singapore, in Hong Kong, and also Europe. There's just one in Germany and one in Italy, and I think probably go to the small ones in Europe, but not going to the ones in Asia.
All right. Well, we're almost at the end of our time here, so I'll just ask a few last wrap-up questions. One question that we like to ask our guests is, what's one thing outside of technology that's inspiring you right now?
Wow, that's a good question.
For me, it's always new recipes that I'm cooking.
Yeah, that's cool. For me, probably outdoor sports, because like I said, I enjoy snowboarding, and also I play tennis a lot, and I also like scuba diving.
I just played tennis this morning.
Oh, this morning, cool.
Yeah, I've never been scuba diving though.
I also play tennis like twice a week. Yeah,
nice. Virtual high five for that.
Yay. Yeah, just outdoor sports. I love sports so much. Just in my spare time, I suppose most of my time on sports.
That's great. It can be so crucial for both like mind and body, health.
Yeah, that's cool. That's right.
And then what's one thing within technology that's inspiring you?
Oh, recently I'm interested in natural language processing. Just for example, to use some machine learning tools to summarize from a book, like you train the data using the whole book, and then you have the summarization automatically, so you don't have to read the whole book anymore. You just only need to read the summary, so you get to know what's going on within this book. And something like that is pretty interesting.
That's been big on a lot of people's minds lately, whether they're pursuing it directly or just hearing the news about new tools, of course. And people are all over ChatGPT and Midjourney and all of that. How do you feel about that conversation in general and kind of the future of like education or work or any of these things that you might be more involved in?
Yeah, I'm being pretty positive for technologies because it's developing all the time, and the new technologies make our life much easier compared with several years ago.
More time for snowboarding.
Yeah, that's right. That's also the good part, because if you can imagine, if there's no like internet, like no laptop and no iPad, how are we gonna do the marketing, and how are we gonna work visual? So I have to always sit in the office and making phone calls. Everything's changing through the new technologies, making our life easier.
Awesome. And then our last final question is just, what's on your personal bill of materials?
Self achievement, or like appreciation from others. Like they give you some credits if you're doing something good, like as a feedback, and they help me to grow some confidence from me and to make me feel good.
Yeah, it seems like what I've heard from you a few times now is that like you want to feel like you're working towards something bigger, and like working towards a goal and that kind of thing. So that's what helps keep you going and kind of keep you motivated.
That's right.
Yeah, and I think that's really relatable. I think a lot of people feel that way, you know.
Yeah, just not very like big, like so much motivation, but just small pieces in life and make me feel keep me motivated.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Ying. It was great to meet you at Munich Electronica, and I'm excited to keep up with WindSource and your own projects and experiences. So thank you.
Thank you. It's very nice talking to you, Magenta. Thank you.
Thank you, Ying, for joining us today. It was really interesting to learn more about the ways Chinese suppliers can differentiate in such an oversaturated market. I also loved hearing about Ying's snowboarding adventures. This was a great reminder to me that you can never be too busy to learn something new. We'll see you next time. If you like The Bomb, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and share the show wherever you get your podcasts. You can follow SupplyFrame and Hackaday on Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Design Lab at SupplyFrame Design Lab on Instagram and Twitter. The Bomb is a SupplyFrame podcast produced by me, Magenta Strongheart, and Ryan Tillotson. Written by Maggie Bowles and edited by Daniel Ferreira. Theme music is by Anna Hogbin, show art by Thomas Schneider, special thanks to Giovanni Salinas, Bruce Dominguez, Thomas Woodward, Jin Kumar, Jordan Clark, the entire SupplyFrame team, and you, our wonderful listeners. I'm your host, Magenta Strongheart. See you next week.